Good morning. How we doing? So, about to start the markets. I can't really do too much off the first 15 minutes anyways, but let's just throw some lines down here. And we're going to go over a couple trades that we went through yesterday live. So let's check it out right now. So for our pre-market high, we're sitting around uh, here. Wherever this bar is here. About right here. There's our pre-market high. And this is our we're making our New York low here. So we've got about 1 minute left. So see how this thing correlates. Yeah. Um, from our buyer standpoint, we have a couple different buyers in the market. Last night I was expecting it to go here, here, here. Oh yeah, I am down on this top step because I did try and take a couple little trades last night. So I lost about 50 points, but I was just trading little micros here. After this cracked, I'd tried to find buyers here, which they papped, but then we cracked them. So we came down to these buyers down here. So, but it was okay. I still liked it. I just couldn't stay up late enough to get into the trade here. And I think I should be looking at a 5 minute for trades because you see we bounced off the 5 minute when it went trading pre-market, post-market. So talk about that later. So here's our new low. This is our actual low here. So we're breaking our pre-market low immediately, heading strong into close. CPI I think came out bearish. So with that in mind, yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. So, see, we got about 9 minutes before I could do anything on this first opening bell here. Gonna wait for a little bit of the balance to go through here, but it seems like we're clearing some of these traders at the 325 level. Oh yeah, so here we go. Yesterday, we had this trap that we took, and it was a beautiful trap. So we broke down out of this pre-market low. And I'm pretty much only going to be going over the house blend. This new theory that I have is a theory, and I'll talk about it as we stream. But it's really not. It's something that I can recap, but basically there's a lot of information, so I probably have to like sit and make a video. Yeah. So we got 1.75 out of this trap here. We then tried to go. What are we trying to do? Oh, so we had a bear trap here, bull trap. Right here. Broke out of the highs. Tried to go higher, came back down to the range. I went short. The short went straight into another bull trap. So this is the bull trap. I think I waited. But typically I'm supposed to trade traps and traps. It's just how it works, but I didn't feel like getting another choppy, crazy day. So I waited. I waited for it to break, as some people would call structure, but the range, right? So we had this 2-bar break here. And this was the actual trade that I took on stream. So we got in long here. I think the volume was a touch low, but since this increased, I wanted to see the volume get up here. So that was a little disappointing here, but I think with the increased tick on the volume, I think we took this long. Sure, we took this long. Took this long here, and then we had some kind of anomaly here that's supposed to be a 2-to-1. I don't actually know if that played out or not. We'll see. I had marked it on the chart, but I didn't actually take it. There's your 2-to-1. So your anomaly had a 2-to-1 here. That was good, but we didn't take that one. We took the trend break here. I did not take the first two because I wanted the volume up here, so I waited for the third. The third looked great, so I went long here, put my stop down here, and I think, well, let me measure this. We got our 1-to-1 here. Yep. Got our 1-to-1 there, and then we didn't take this one because of I wanted the volume. Oh, actually, this one I didn't take because I think I had to work. But it's possible to take this one up 1-to-1, but I knew that there was huge sellers not only at the 20s between 20 and 16. So we're kind of running into those sellers at 20 to 16, but also the volume. I wanted to see it kind of get above this bar here, which is the open, and that didn't happen. So, all right, 47 seconds left. Making our first bar of the morning. Those are a few trades that I got to do on stream. There's more trading opportunities later on, but we might cover those later. So now, as far as the morning goes, let's pop back over here to our other chart here. So we have buyers here at this level, right? So we've crunched into them a little bit here on the morning. So I would say the buyers are remaining there. We do have strength here in the selling, but I really just want to see how this morning plays off. But these are some new sellers here, but will they hold? I don't know. Find out. But this is going to show some strength to the downside here. As far as the 5-minute goes, we did not break below pre-market low. We actually came back up above pre-market low. So yeah, this plays out. As far as trading this right now, I've learned that I don't like really trading when we trading ranges. Like this range is good, right? I prefer to see stuff move. Like, I don't want to see it compress and consolidate up into an area. I want to see it kind of just go up and tap. This is great for me to take a short because this is just unmitigated buying. This is not strong buying here, right? This looks a little stronger. It's right here, as it would have probably broken into if we would have took the zone. This would have took a little bit of that out, but like this looks like decently strong selling, weak buying, weak selling, weak buying, weak buying, weak selling, strong buying, and then this is data, so, and strong selling after data. So right now we broke through these buyers officially on the 2-minute. Sure, on the 5-minute though, it'd have a different story. Let's just check the 5 real fast. Oh yeah, we're dumping below that. So that buyer is getting smacked down. Let's see. I am going to say that the buyer is. By the way, we got how much seconds on this candle? 3 minutes 20 seconds. Okay. Some volume here. Hey, what's up, Puff? Good morning, dude. How are you? Thanks for stopping in, man. Where are we at here? So we still have this buyer here, but I want to see the volume. Alright. Alright, so the question was these upticks in volume? No, these were not. This was your uptick in volume here. Well, so I probably would not consider these from a price action standpoint if I was going to put money on it. I don't know how I feel taking these guys. From a pure price action standpoint without volume, this would look good. But really, the look for me was this guy right here with that uptick in volume. So this was the looker for me. So bounced, got eaten up into, and now he was holding on. He just got cracked. So we'll see how it happens though. We'll see. There's a new strat, so we'll see how that formulates. Nonetheless, on the top step, we're trading the house blend strat. It's just a combination of bear traps, bull traps, and trend breaks. And we're gonna also talk about some different concepts, 3-bar plays. I talk about these anomalies. I talk about different engulfing bars that we can look to scalp on the day. So if we're below pre-market low, I'm only going to be looking for bear setups. bear setups. We get into the pre-market range, I'll trade both ways. If we go above pre-market highs, I'm only taking longs. So that's what we'll be looking at in the morning. Nonetheless, let's get back to the 2-minute over on my other chart. So let's get back over to this scalp chart here. So we did mark a zone here. Argument to be made that this trade is still intact since we broke it and came above it, but I'm gonna scratch it. I'm gonna scratch that player right there. I'm gonna go find our next player. I think our next player is down here, 250. I think I already had marked him. So as you can see, we had a big engulfing bar here. I think it had pretty good volume too. But I think this is our next buyer. This is a decent amount of buying too. Let's see here. We have boom, boom. These two are a decent amount of buying. From a 2-minute. Remember, this could get a little tricky as we get into the different time frames here. From a 5-minute, that probably all looks like really decent buying. But I just want to trade the 2-minute today. Take some quick scalps. We broke the low, by the way, and I would say that officially that buyer got clapped, but we'll find out. Mornings are always tricky, right? In the first little bit of the morning, because I kind of want to see where the new players are at, and then I'll take the ranges into consideration too. You know, I don't know why I'm going this far, but yeah, we're over here, and that's why. I could zoom out and do this. It's probably a little annoying, but it is what it is. All right. So I think here's our players right now on the morning range. I think we got our seller here. Got some sellers up here, new sellers up here. This broke, so I said this seller got taken, but it immediately dropped off that. Good morning, Samu. How are you, my bro? Trader, ELS, good morning. Good to see you. Samu, how are you? This is a bit of a bear trap setup, but in the context of a strong short, in the context of a downtrend below pre-market low, I don't know if I want to be a taker. All right, so back to the good, man. That's good to hear, Samu. Glad you're here, bro. So if we're looking at a price action standpoint, we broke out of the low here. It's a little tricky because we kind of almost 3-barred this. But if we try to go lower, if we come back up into this range here, I might have to take this long. So I needed to get above pre-market low. So above the yellow line, I needed to not get above this. So if it goes between these two pockets right here, if we land in the zone right here, I'm going to take it long. Not a recommendation, trade at your own risk. Because we broke the body structures here. Oh, it's really tough, man. We'll see. I don't know if I actually like that. I do like the break of pre-market, try to go higher, get it back in the range, but I don't know. Let me think about this for a second. I would have preferred this break, for example, to happen here, and then this break to go below pre-market low, then us come all the way back up into this range. That would make me feel much better about the trap. I think we'll see. Hopefully this trade doesn't do either of these, but because I have to play the context of this trade, but let's find out. So we got 1 minute left. I'm hoping it just engulfs it so I don't have to deal with this. How many points is this? 30 points? Man, really tough. see what happens. We will see. We're about to put in our first 15-minute bar here. So now, if this 15-minute bar gets up to here, pretty much anywhere here, this 15-minute closes up here or above, I take the long here on the 15-minute context. Not a recommendation. Please trade at your own risk. None of these trades are recommendations. I'm not a financial advisor. So this is not a bad zone on the 5-minute. I like it on the 15-minute better if we can get above this area though. If we can get above here, I like this much better. If we stay below it and we go above this, this would be an out for me on both of them. To be a nullified on both of them. See, we kind of toe tap that real fast. 20 seconds left. Let's see if we can get up here. I don't know if I'm going to take this 5-minute. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Let's find out. Oh. Alright. I'll tell you what. I'll take it if we can get better pricing down here. If not, I'm still going to chart it because I have to be in this context. Looks like I should have taken it, but I want to get a little bit better pricing. We'll see. So I am going to chart it because this technically is a setup. And I can't trade against that setup. So no matter what, I have to trade in the direction of this trade going forward. Yeah. 15-minute didn't get there though. We'll see. If we come back down here now, I want something like down here. All I want to risk like 10 points on this trade. Let's see. We will see. Going back to our print chart over here. Got a little uptick. Absorption up here. See that big volume there, but the candle was like right there. So probably some absorption on these buyers. The seller's still active, right? Starting to eat up into the seller though. And then this buying. I don't know about this volume. I don't like the volume, how it's down ticked, but keep an eye on this spot. If I can make this extra light green. be like this. Alright, let's see what happens here. I may want to take a little short off of... Wait, where's my crosshair at? This is kind of annoying. Why was my crosshair invisible? That's weird. Alright, so I may want to take a little one on the 76. I'll front run it a little bit, so let's see here. I might take one at 67. I'll take one. Make this one a little lower than 67. We'll go like right here. I'm being a little stingy. Not gonna lie, maybe I'll join the 65 player. Alright, and then if we go short again, I'll have some insurance here at 76. So I'll look to kind of try and front run this player here at 76. The two here on this one. I am trading against, you know, both houses, but I don't mind this the way this is laying out. So we are eating up into the seller yet, but the seller's still here. And we'll see what happens here. On the top step where the strategies in a long. So if I wanted to be a buyer, I want to buy it like 328. Let's see. The question is, should I be using this pre-market tech context with this with this natural market, with the regular session. I'll be buyer 328 too. I'll take one. We'll go a little bit above it, front at 330. I'll join that buyer down there. 330 will put us right here. Maybe that's where I'll put this one too. There we go. 330.50. So we get some trap shorts there again. Alright, so I want to take one at the top of this range because I don't want to risk a lot. Because we're coming into the seller so strong. There's a little anomaly too if this goes green here on the 2 minute. But because we're coming into the seller so strong, I don't want to play the front run. I don't want to play the center. I kind of want to play the back end of this range. And then I know we have a seller here. So I'm front running this seller with 2. If I grab this for 1, if we trace above it, a little insurance, I'll be surprised if we blow through both of these sellers. Right off the bat, a little bit of an anomaly here. That's supposed to be a 2-to-1. Not a recommendation. 2 minute goes down a little bit the quality, but see what happens here. But we are eating up into the seller from the morning. So if we flash down, I'm gonna be a buyer at 330. We'll see. Probably should have taken that long. To be honest though, dealing with this pre-market low, I would have assumed we came back down a little bit and then ripped up again, to be honest with you. But it's okay. Get rid of this line. This is our 15-minute trap line. Yeah, not too much going on. Oh yeah, my bad. I was showing you guys the wrong one the whole time. That's alright though. Alright, let's see. See if I get this fill here. Alright, got the fill there on the short, and then I'm gonna try and get out of it kind of light here. But if we crack above it, I want to see this one be that insurance here. Only about 10 points. But if we crack above, this volume upticks. I'm probably gonna try and go close to flat on this one and take 2. So I'll take 2 down here just to kind of break even one of them. Take 1 and see if the other one will hold, but likely, I don't know if that'll happen. We'll find out. But we're cracking above the seller here. Little uptick in volume. The structure looks pretty decent. These two, yeah. So we're just heading strong here. So let's see here. I get a little bit between these two buyers, maybe the 53s. We'll find out. Take a bit of 53. Go a little bit above it. 53, 54, 54. So I'm selling at the tail end of this seller here, trying to just get a little piece here. The way this volume's going though, and how this structure looks, well, now it's kind of invalid because it's more than 50%. So now I don't really care. But if this would have stayed like up here, a little tight, there we go. Got that little short off there. So this seller's still present here. We have our range now. We could make an argument that I don't like the volume on these two, so I don't want to say that the player's here. I prefer to say that the player's down here. So we'll see. I say the player, I'm saying collective buyers, real collective buyers. So that wasn't much. That was only a 10-point scalp on one micro, but so again, how we did that is we knew that there was decent buying here. I knew that the seller is still here based off this context. and I wanted to play the tail end of the seller, which I did. And then we ended up engulfing down here, and I ended up playing just the bottom of this, even though it could come all the way back down to here. But down here, I want to be a buyer, especially if we don't just, if we get a crazy like volume bar on this one, I might be less apt to be a buyer on this, because I'm like, oh shoot, these guys might try and run this heavy, right? I might try and sell one more at the 67 again. Let's see here. Let's see. I could have front ran it a little bit maybe, but I'm just gonna play a little bit more conservative. I want to try and play the break. If it breaks and then comes back below, that would be a better quality for me. Me trying to get these little inflections in here, a little risky. I don't know if I want. I feel better about it trying to break, tap, and then be getting some insurance on one of them. So we'll see what happens. All right, back to the house blend. So we have our pivot high, which happens. It just got taken right here. We have our new pivot low. In the morning, though, we're not really messing with any of these bars until about 5 more minutes from now, 10 o'clock. And we got news at 10 o'clock. Actually, we got news at 10 o'clock. Let me take out all of this stuff. What am I talking about? Me trying to stinking. Well, we see the players. I'm going to see where the news is. So this trade, this trap should work decent then, because typically when I backtest this, I don't give a crap about news. Usually the trades work out going into news. So, but we'll find out. 5 minutes left. Yeah, settlement. Sentiment. I said settlement. Sentiment. Yeah, we're gonna wait for this, because it's gonna get. I want to see that. It's kind of cool off after that data hits. I'm all holding it to the data. That's crazy. All right, so we'll see up here. This profit's about 87.75. Stop would be 3 points below this, 309. See if this trade works out. If I missed it, it's just, it is what it is. You guys want to see the seller on the top step 5 minute and the 15 minute, or do you want to see this happen with the zones to see how active these players are in the 2 minute? So I'll throw the 2 minute up too, and we get to see how it reacts based off of these previous players. Since it's new theory anyways, I'd like to see how data works out on that. So we know our take profits up here at, and I say we, I'm saying me and my strategy, 87.50. That's going to be the 1.75 mark. We're going to find out. So we got about 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. Seller's still active, as you can see. Still selling into this. Still some liquidity. Now, yeah, I have a theory based off of the wicks. If the seller's hella strong here, why isn't he just selling straight? Why is it allowing it to pop through? Well, these guys are trying to find liquidity, right? The buyers are trying to find buy-side liquidity. The sellers are trying to find buy-side liquidity, right? The buyers are trying to find sell-side liquidity is what I'm saying. They want to buy where they think a lot of sellers are going to be, because they have a lot of crap they need to fill. They have a lot of orders they need to fill, and they can't do it all at once. They have to do it in a strategic way for them not to move the price action too much, because they're the ones moving the markets anyways. So when we get up to these levels and we know that there's a seller that's here, they're selling into this range here, and they're selling by, 1,000 at a time, 2,000 at a time, whatever it is. So when they get up above here, they're selling around this range. They're strategically trying to sell this at this range, and sometimes the buyers will slip through and then they'll sell into those buyers again to kind of get out of all that liquidity. I think that's why we get these wicks up where these sellers are up here, is because there's a lot of orders trying to be processed here. Buyers are trying to take it up because they're not looking at this zone being like, we want the zone. They're saying, hey, we want to buy. This is where we want to buy. We want to buy these lows, and this seller's just going to start overwhelming them. They'll be holding that buy. You will have traders covering retail and stuff, but I'm talking about institution. I'm talking about the big money. Big money ain't looking to cover a one tick below this or anything like that. They're just trying to fill orders during the day. So when we get up here, they're trying to just offload at different levels that make sense for their portfolios and their risk management. I mean, obviously computers are doing most of it, but they get to decide probably where they would like to kind of sell and let the computers execute for them. All right, so tapping back up into this again. So that wouldn't have been we got that little short here, but news is about to drop 30 seconds. So I'm curious because the algos supposedly, from what I heard, shut off for about 2 minutes. Big algos, and they let it settle. It's a new settlement when you get a new drop coming out. So we'll see how this kind of settles here. But and the theory behind that for me is that's if it is retail traders doing most of the trading and all the craziness. My crap just froze. Okay, so there's your buyer, still active. So if there's still, if the algos have to shut off and we get this crazy thinness in the market, I think big players, my theory is big players are still going to put in their like limit orders and stuff, but retail traders are just doing whatever, right? But when they flip back on the algos, we'll see. But look at that. That's dipped right back into where we thought the buyer was, 323. I would have taken one at halfway if I was going to be in that short that long. Oh man, we didn't get our short off though on the trap. That's kind of annoying. Wanted that 330. How did the news come out anyways? Let's see what this data is. All right, it is 1 year inflation is as expected, a little higher than expected for the 1 year inflation. And expectations have gone. Let's see, I don't know too much about the preliminary expectations and conditions, but the 1 and 5 year, 1 year came in a little hotter than expected, so that should be bearish, should be. But that being said, if it's better than what big money was expecting, then they'll take it up. Hey Lefty, we found them based off of we're finding them based off of just price action. Based off of price action. So here we see we have strong structure here, strong selling structure. And if we look at the volume, there's an uptick in volume. See that? So this is going to be a seller, and since some of their selling, I'm going to call it sell side liquidity, because a lot of these sellers are not just one seller, right? This is multiple sellers for multiple different reasons, but collectively, this is the price action that was formed based off of them. So when we ate up into a little bit of these guys, we know that there's still sellers here, but maybe these guys that front ran that selling got eaten up into a little bit, and then new sellers jumped in here. This is just price action, so I'm gonna see how this news plays out a little bit. I kind of want to see if we like break above all this, because news will screw all your technicals. But in my opinion, from backtesting, I don't backtest news, so this trade should still work out. I should have got that 30. That would have been beautiful. See, if we would have hit that 30s and then got the fill, that would have been great. So nonetheless, oh, we didn't get the fill yet, so this thing could flip. I'm still hands off in this trade. I'll let this one pass. But yeah, Lefty, it's just a combination of so with the understanding of how the footprint works. I don't know if you're familiar with the footprint. If you're familiar with order flow, if you're not, it's okay. It's good to have that understanding. And see, we tapped right into that seller. See that? So I wanted to be short here too. I'm glad to see that both of these things reacted. We went right up into the buyer, shoved right up into the seller. This is why I did not want to be a seller here again. So, but the seller's still active here. And we dipped right back up into that sell side liquidity. That's crazy, right? So, that's good to know for news though. It's great. It's good to know that news works like this. I mean, I'm sure it's not works this every time, but we'll talk about it. No worries, Lefty. So with price action, right? We're able to, and when I say new buyers, new sellers, this is new strong selling interest where it seems like a lot of liquidity came in, right? I'm gonna say liquidity's here. I'm gonna say it's here. I'm gonna say it's here. Just by the price action, how clean these bars are, how little these wicks are, how little they retrace, right? If we were to show you an example of something that does not look that clean, it would be something like, let's see here. This all looks pretty clean. This is pre-market though. So if we want to look at some selling that doesn't look super clean, for me, it would be like, this looks clean. But as soon as we get here, you see how engulfing these bars are? The previous bar? This to me is not clean selling. This is kind of a mix. But this was your real seller here because of how clean this bar came off. So based off that, using that with volume previously, and like this, for example, this was clean. But a lot of these sellers start chunking them into them. But like this isn't real selling. To me, this isn't real selling because of how much this engulfs based off price action. You might have a little seller here, a little bit, and this could have been a seller getting amped up into this. But this, until they took out this buyer is still present. Boom, ripped off, ripped off, ripped off. So this buyer held, again, tapped into that, and it's been holding up until right here, until actually taken out here. So that's where I said he's gone. That guy's gone. So nonetheless, buyer, seller, seller. This guy looks like he's about to get ran over, but there's still people offloading shares here. So whoever it is, but yeah, that's just a basic thing. This is again a theoretical. This is just a theory, and it seems to be working pretty good, but in theory, better. So again, with this toe tap here, I'm expecting us tap into some of the sell side liquidity here. I might want to be a seller at 387. 387, the back side of this, because if we start forming some strong buying straight up into here, I want to see where we got kind of like two sellers. So I want to be, I may go 386 to front run at a touch. See, I'll go 386 here, be a seller right there. And then we got this buyer here. If this volume kicks up here, this could be really strong. So just missed me there. There we go. Got filled there. Let's see if I can just get a little bit of a retracement here. Nothing too crazy. This could blast through me. I know this. I'll wait for this bar to close. I want to see how this bar closes first because this buyer is really strong, but let's see. All right, so we're blasting up into this next seller that is very liquid too. I'm okay holding this whole bar on the 2 minute, not on a 5 minute, but on a 2 minute. Hopefully it's not a 100-point 2 minute bar. All right, so I'm gonna cut that trade there. What was that? $6 loss. Just because I wanted to see us tap in, come up, and then really kick. But it seemed like we were finding more bidders here. This thing could still retrace, but we were finding more bidders here. See, it's getting a little more aggressive to the upside. So the way that this came in here, see that? Now we're really starting to open up. The way that this came in here, in theory, we pot up with buyers. Sellers took it down. If we're looking at the footprint, we would see that there was buy-side absorption up here, and they started to come down. But when they caught a bid here, when it caught a strong bid here again, buyers are looking aggressive to take this up again. So I wanted to play the first swing. I did not want to play that second. So this is a little bit intra-bar here. By the way, the fill worked great for the... oh, I'm showing you guys the wrong thing anyway. Sorry. But our fill did get taken here. I'm showing you guys the wrong thing this whole time. I apologize. So anyways, I got in here with this double. Right? Tried to go... It came up, went down, but then it caught more buyers here. When it caught more buyers there, it went up, and we ran into a little bit of selling. I said, I'm done. I'm going to take a small little hit because of the way it reacted. So this guy, gone. This guy, gone. Now we're tapping up into this dude here. And with how strong this bar is, how strong this volume is. We look at this volume over here and how weak this looks in comparison. I may not want to be a seller here. I may want to wait and see if we get a little reaction here, a little range. If this retraces like 50% and then comes back up, I still might be a seller here. But really, I want to see what's going to happen a little bit later. Nonetheless, we got the fill on the strategy got its fill. And I didn't take that 330. Kind of psyched myself out this morning, but that's okay. There'll be more opportunities. So we're back in the pre-market range. Getting ready. We look at this. 56 is our pre-market high here. And we're going to see if this gets taken up here. 15 minutes looking pretty strong. It's looking like a little bit of a anomaly play here. Take this off, by the way. Clean up the chart a little bit. Yeah, these. Whoa. Not that. These two bars here. A little bit of an anomaly here. 2-to-1 anomaly. So if this one closes, this is going to be one to keep an eye on. But we'll see what happens here. Skip this song. Alright. So let's see how this reacts here. Tapping back into this seller here. Again, this is looking very strong for buyers. Very strong. I wouldn't mind selling at maybe the 60 level though. We kind of shoot up there. I might front run this a little bit, maybe 66. Try and get my toe in the water there, just in case we fly way up there. I don't want to be counter trend trading this whole time, so I also might look to be a buyer here at the 94s. I don't want to be just trading against the trend. If we're trending up for this next part, I want to be very light with against trend, a little more heavy with trend. So I want to see this thing kind of form some structure here. But this right here looks extremely strong. Extremely strong. Got about 53 seconds here. And no breaks yet on the 5-minute for the house blend strat. This is working, moving up really well though. Did that, I don't know if you're still here, Lefty, but did that make any sense with the price action? Do you still have questions about that? If you need like any no questions, or I don't know how much experience you have. That's the kind of difficult thing for me. So I don't want to be like under explaining something either. You know. Yeah, no worries. What's your experience in the markets? What charting? This is strong. This is really strong price action here. And this guy's gone now. So this seller gone. I don't really see any real selling up until get up to this 470 level. So I'd like to try and take a couple short up there. Yeah, not much, just trying support and resistance and trades like that. Okay, so let me tell you something about support and resistance really quick. I'm gonna chart it right here on this other screen while we're doing this. Here's the thing about support and resistance. Support and resistance, which again, it's pre-market low, pre-market high would technically be considered like support and resistance, right? Well, let's just get a new chart real quick. And I want to tell you something because this is extremely important from what you've been told about support and resistance, and how support and resistance can actually work. So, for example, let's just look at this. This is going to be let's see here. Let's just try this one up. Let's start here somewhere. This is kind of a big. This doesn't happen every day, but let's just start up here. Let's take this as a resistance up here. So if we were to take the tops of this line, let's say that this is going to be a support down here, This is going to be here. You could make an argument. There's one here. You could say this is one here. Say this is one here. Starts to get a little hairy. So here's some lines for support and resistance on this side, right? We're just looking at this context first. I'm still paying attention to the charts, guys, by the way, so don't trip about that. But just quickly, if you were to play the break off of this, let's just say if you want to be a breakout player, for example. So do you mess with trend lines too or no, Lefty? Yes. Okay, so trend lines. Good. So we'll first talk about support and resistance. Let's just keep this kind of a little bit more simple. I'll take out this one. This looks messy. I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, this kind of looks crazy for me to teach with. So support and resistance. Let's just take the ends here. Let's just take the ends here. If you would have bought here, hoping that it broke out, you would have got clapped. But if you would have take the sell here, you would have been for a little bit of profit. Maybe as it came back a little bit, came down. But where is your price target, right? This is an interesting thing. You know that there's going to be, you know, this was the high. There's a seller somewhere in here. But where do you take profit, right? And this is where, you know, you can get into Fibonacci retracements. You start getting the measured moves. You start getting all this stuff. In this case, the resistance worked really well. But let's just say this is our new support here. So now we're between the support and the resistance. In this case, it's working decent so far. You're probably getting hard fills though. If you're trying to go long here at the support, trying to go short here, this one worked great. But the idea of what I'm saying, I guess, is that a lot of these things will fail and they'll break multiple times and they'll come back up, stop you out. Get back up here again. Oh, it's coming back up. We're going to go long here. And then it dumps on you again, right? This is where price action can get very tricky with support and resistance. So if this broke out, close came up, do you say, okay, is this the new support then? There's an argument to be made for that, right? Bounced up, came up, broke down, stopped you out, came back up. You see what I mean? There's a lot of slippage. And slippage is hard to deal with not only when you're managing trades, it's hard to deal with psychologically. But even still, you'll see a lot of opportunity kind of go and you're like, well, this is support down here, but it didn't get near it this next time. I wanted to be a buyer down here and it didn't happen. Well, that's because we're trending, right? So, but now look, we have our first trend. You wanted to be maybe a buyer here. Excuse me. You wanted to be a buyer here, but it's not getting near your price range. Are you getting a little bit of FOMO now? Maybe you're getting some FOMO because it's getting away from your trend. And you're starting to get in. So now you might have, like, after this one, it's starting to go. You bought here, went down here. You're like, oh, crap, I'm in this trade down. You sell. Then it rips up against you again, right? So the theory with support and resistance, it does work, but you need to build a real good system off of it. What I'm doing is kind of like support and resistance, but what I'm doing is I'm finding buyers and sellers, and they're gonna act like, for example, this dude is a real seller here. We just check the charts real fast, getting close to that pre-market high here, starting to uptick in volume. So we have two trends here. Steep trend. Nice big buyers here. Nice big buyers here on the 2 minute as well. I'm gonna say these buyers are all the way here on the on our fast track chart here. So all of this buyers, new buyers. So we're getting ready to knock on the door of this dude up here at the 70s. I'm gonna throw one up there. I'm gonna say that he I'm gonna say if we were taking in terms of this seller and its volume against this seller and its volume, I'm gonna knock on the door. I'm gonna see if we get a little bit of a toe tap here at 70. Go 69 for the meme. So I'm not sure. We have a seller at 60, but we'll see if that dude's real. 69. All right. Maybe just a little bit ahead of that. I'll go 66. So here's the theory with this. By the way, we still have a humongous, ginormous, big sell side liquidity at, I think it was between like 530 and 516. I think that was, this is a seller if I remember correctly from previous days on a daily. So this is going to carry some of the biggest weight up here that you are going to have. Okay, back to the how I'm finding and what the difference between support and resistance. So what I'm doing is, get back over here. What I'm doing is I'm able to identify when big sellers came in here, with the volume, how the volume's uptaking, big sellers came in here, I can mark out this whole zone. So they came in, and then I like to use the first, not the first body, but the first wick that kind of comes back into play. A little bit better for me. And I just want to see how it reacts. So if, for example, I knew we had a strong seller here. We did have strong buyers here, by the way, pre-market. I know this doesn't look like much, but it is something. And I probably put them right here because this wick retraced about 50%. We noticed that we found our buyers here, right? So a support would tell you that we're waiting for it to come down here, right? Or maybe even down lower than that. This would be a good point. Maybe you can make an argument and say it was here, but they would not tell you that they're coming here. But being able to identify these buyers gives us a little bit more opportunity when it comes to getting these markets. So now because of this, we have found our two players in the market, right? There's only ever two players in the market. There's only sellers and buyers. We found them. So found our buyers. We could have waited for that first test, come in again, bought, played up the seller, sold, play the range, right? The second time we came up a little bit, it's still not a negative yet until we break this seller, but this is a large range to trade for sellers. So we want to see how is structure building up into this, and it doesn't look that strong. This buy side structure didn't look that strong. So because of that, I'm like, meh, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to break it, right? So you can wait. It did eat some of the sellers right here, but here's your range. Boom, come up again, boom. But now you have this buyer. Notice this structure compared to this structure. This structure looks fantastic, right? You wait for your first retrace here. So you take the short here. Usually I take one at 50%, but this structure is so strong when we reacted here to the upside. Boom, there he is. And look, he's stepping in again. Boom, boom. Now this seller also was getting chunked into a little bit up here. I just check my trades off fast. Get a little bit of rejection off there. I didn't get the fill there, but this is pre-market high at the 56 level. Just kind of taking a peek here. Nothing too crazy. I may want to become a buyer at the 21. Try and be a buyer at 21 here. Oh, look at that, 20. All right, so I'm gonna be a buyer at 21 and 22. I'll buy two. Why are these so low here? I'll take one right above it. There we go. A 24. So just so you guys can see, I want to take this up as a continuation. Really strong buying here. Should find more buying support. We see a little bit. Our reactions are very light up here. This is a new order block, so this technically is a new buyer here. But I want to see us maybe tap into this, come down a little bit. I might buy a couple more at the 397s if we do a quick flash. Let's see, 397, 397. I'll bid another one. I'll bid another two here, 397. A little bit of front running, but I think we find support here if anything. So boom, 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 we'll find support. Or when I say, again, I'm saying find support, we're going to find buyers. That is the support. They're supporting us. They're supporting the trade for the long. All right. Back here, and nothing too much here. Getting ready to break pre-market highs. I do have one sell at 66. I may need to manage this trade. I'm also going to take one at 83 just to get a little bit in case we do a pop and drop. Hopefully we don't slam through everything. That would be crazy. I do think we still have a seller at the 500, so the seller's not going to be as big. 85. Let's see here. I'm gonna sell 85. I'll sell 84 here. Okay, there we go. I have my management in place here. So, because of this, we now can make educated guesses where institutional liquidity is. In institutional, we're saying the majority, right? Usually the institutions are the majority of buyers and sellers. If somehow retailers are the biggest volume, then who cares? At the end of the day, there's still a buyer or seller, right? That's got most of the liquidity. And we found them. Here they are. So eventually, this seller gets eaten into, right? To the point where he's gone. All the selling that had happened here has now been taken out. All of these sellers have been satisfied. We are assuming. This is in theory again. By the way, the structure is looking pretty strong. I'm still going to take that short, but the structure looks really strong against me. So I'm casting a little bit wider of a net here. So if we were to drag these buyers across, right, where we found previous buyers, we're likely to find buyers again, right? Because they're happy buying here. And they came down. This buyer does not want to continue buying all the way up unless it's like a crazy strong. This is much more palatable for them to be able to buy at this level. Boom. So we came into there a little bit, right? But we did veer off eventually. So some of the buy side got taken out, but this buyer is still here until we break. And oh boy, did we break. Right? Boom. So how would you do this? If this candle closed, I'm out here. Boom. If I bought here, and again, the structure is really important too. So with how high this volume was and how clean this structure was into this close, remember this is kind of like this. This is kind of like this structure here. Look at this. Look how clean this structure is going up into this. Remember? I had one contract. I'm like, do I really want to be a seller in front of these strong buyers? What's up, Shark? How are you, dude? Thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for liking the video too. I appreciate it, everybody. So, do I want to be a seller here with the structure and the volume this clean? Probably not. Even this, I probably don't even need to front run this much, but I'm going to anyways. I know that there's a seller at 70, but we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping for a little bit of a big extension here and then a retracement. So, this is very bullish though. Ooh, all right, got him for one. There we go. Let's see if I can get in for another one. I know there's sellers here. If this candle closes above here, I'm going to be out of both of them. So I'm risking roughly like 40 points. I do want to play the halfway point between this buyer and seller. So about 447, I want to be a seller. 447. I want to play between these two buyers and sellers. 440, 447. Let's see. 47. I don't want to be a heavy seller into these buyers. If buyers are in control here, I want to just trickle my toes into the water here. You notice that my buy side is way heavier than my sell side. I'm okay, Tiny, losing a little bit of money here on the sell side. By the way, this is a new buyer here. So, another interested taker. And again, this volume upticking here is looking very strong. Very strong to the upside. So buyers could be aggressively buying up into this area again. I'm going to hold this one though because I know that there's a huge seller here. And I don't mind it. I think if we rip straight through them, that would be very surprising for me. If anything, I think we come up and then get some structure, build some strength, and then crack this full if we're going to crack them. I would be very surprised if we just cracked them immediately. And if we did, it is what it is. I'll just take the hit. But in theory, if we're gonna crack a seller this strong, we need to build some strength. So we'll see if this candle comes down a little bit. As you see, we're starting to tip into some of the sell side liquidity here, just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Some buyers are probably getting absorbed here. There's probably a lack of buying interest to a degree, but there's a strong buyers here. Strong. We're even cracking into the seller here. So I probably was a little zealous on this fill here. Again, if we do crack, I'm gonna sell at the 98 level. See here, I'll sell 2 at the 98. 2. I'll sell 1. I'll sell 1 at 90. Ooh, look at that 500 block. We have a huge seller. We'll go 98.50 here. That's a little too high. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. 97. All right. Nonetheless, this is a new theory, and I'm trying to work a strategy around this theory, right? This is not. I don't even know if this is a profitable strategy yet. I'm just trading it because it's profitable enough for me, right? But over time, the data, hard data. But this one that we're trading over here with our 5-minute and everything here, this is a proven profitable strategy. So this is the one that I'm trading mostly, right? We're just in this long. I mean, you saw us catch this short here off the morning, right? I mean, this bear trap off the morning, went long. Now we're getting above pre-market highs. We should only be looking long here. This one's already done. I don't even have to think. This one is to the T. I don't even have to measure. Everything's done for me. So this strat I don't have to do crap for. This one is just look and identify and trade, and that's it. And try and extract money out of the markets. Sometimes I'm trading in the wrong key though, and that makes things a little bit difficult. So back to this one. You notice here's a seller. So, and with this seller coming in so strong to this buyer, I'm sure we'll catch a bid somewhere, but I think the real buyer is down here. So I might try and take one at 37. Come down to 37. I should have just taken that one off there. Right there at the close of that candle, but that's all right. 37. I'll buy one at 37. 36. I'll buy one at 37. See, I should have. At the close of that candle, I didn't want to take a new and catch a bid off the 2-minute, but that's all right. It is what it is. So 36. Get down here. I wish I could navigate the DOM faster, or just right-click on the screen and get a fill here. 37. There we go. Be buyer at 37. So again, I don't really want to sell into this market too much. This is really clean though. So the way this volume kind of kicked up too. I'm gonna clap this trade at even. Even though I do want it to see it come down a little bit with the uptick in volume here. This volume even beat this volume. Not saying that it's gonna run, but I want to see how it reacts with this buyer here. So I really don't want to sell any of this, but I would prefer it for me to get in somewhere for the long. Now, as far as the house strat, this sucker is just ripping all morning, right? It's tough from this standpoint to know where to get in. If this kind of downtrends, we'll have our pivot high, but we've just been going higher all morning long. No pivot highs. I may want to actually scratch off this buyer here. I want to be a buyer down here at the 437s. I don't know about this dude. So as far as selling goes, we'll see if we get a little uptick in volume. If we get the sell, we might. But we know that there's a seller up here, and we know our big dog, the big kahuna, is between 516 and 530. And the reason why we know this is because we were to go back to our. Oh, I'm sorry, I've been showing you guys the wrong chart this whole time again. I need to manage these charts better. Our big seller is over here. Actually, I'll show you on the 15-minute. It's better on the 15-minute. Get rid of this dude. There's our big seller. Look at this dude, right? Huge seller. So a lot of this has been eaten up into. A lot of this sell side liquidity has been eaten up into already. But when we have a huge block like this, this is like the final stand of the seller. This is like, we rip above this dude, you're gone. Be a lot of interested sellers here. So notice we got in close. This is the dude. I think it was up to 536 or something like that. All right. There we are. There he is. And that's exactly what happened with the other day. Remember, I think this was during the session. I'm like, we got a mass. I was selling here. I was like, please come up in here. I want to sell this. And especially with how fast this came, I was like, I want to And it just got smacked down. Drifted up again. So we'll see. See if we get another smackdown up here. Having a hard time getting above pre-market highs here. We have a slight break. But we'll see. Might retrace a little bit of this, but we should catch bidders here, especially at the 30s. I might be a little front running with this 37 mark, but yeah, we'll get in. We'll try and fit in here somewhere. All right, let's get back to the scalp strat here. I haven't really got to make any trades yet. The only trade that the house strat took, I didn't take. We should find opportunity here for longs if we continue to hold above this pre-market high. And we're going to be knocking at the door of the seller up here pretty soon. Move this up a smidge. Let me see. I want to be right ahead of that seller at 80s. I don't want to be that far ahead of that dude. I'll be ahead of this 85 guy though. 84. Put me in. Put me in. None of these trades are recommendations. Trading your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor. Let's see, we're tapping back into these sellers a little bit here. I probably could be a seller here, to be honest with you, because this isn't too strong. So saying that this is going to get up there is like a maybe. I probably could be a seller at 75s. But I just don't want to sell so heavy against this. I would prefer to kind of catch this bid as opposed to trying to sell heavy into this aggressively. I would say this is aggressive, this is intermediate, this is like super conservative, right? So this would be an aggressive sell. I want to be more of an aggressive buyer than an aggressive seller, right? All right, let's see. This rip. Closing strong. The volume wasn't too impressive. Come on. So again, the sellers are from over here. These sellers here. I think I have them marked on 5 minutes. This price action doesn't look too crazy clean. But yeah, should be some sellers there. Let's see what happens. Oh, hope you guys are having a good morning. You guys took any trades? Let me know. Go over them, chart them out. That's nice. My take a drink of my coffee, and I got my sweatshirt was in my coffee all this whole morning. My sweatshirt lace. So yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Running into the seller. See how we're just getting a little bit of that sell side here. There's sell side liquidity. So maybe we come down. I want to be a buyer here for sure. Definitely want to be a buyer. I'm even gonna front run it a touch. I should maybe, even if it's like trending, right? I should maybe even like. I'm not gonna be that. That's hyper aggressive. That's like FOMO aggressive. I'll wait for it to come down. I need to be stingy. All right, so for this one on the house strat here, let me pop you guys over. So on this one, we actually have a pivot high that has a lower high on the next candle. Finally. So the volume that I want to see us crack above. Hopefully this candle goes red. If this candle goes red, I'll be actually happy, because if we get some structure and then I can actually play a pivot off of this would be nice. If this rips and we get another 2-bar, I want to see this volume crack. Volume definitely is going to need to get above this area minimum. We'll see what happens here. We got another 6 minutes before we do anything on that chart, so we will just wait and see. In the meantime, I want to see this come down a little bit. So I got to keep in mind the new structure being created. This looks pretty clean to the sell side. Unless it flips and we wake up into here, then it will not look clean anymore. So basically, if the seller's legit, all of these buyers that kind of front ran it are going to get trapped. We're going to come down a little bit, and then we're going to find a real buyer, which I'm assuming is starting right here. Argument to be made that there's one right here as well, especially with this uptick in volume here. Argument to be made. I just don't want to be a buyer between these two people unless we get some legs. If we get some legs above this, then I might buy it here. But really, running into the seller, I would prefer to be down here. I think we take out this buyer. We'll find out. So on the 5 minute, let's see if we get this green bar here. 3, 2, 1. If you guys look at the biograph, the green bar, that was a doji. Dojis do not count. That does not count as a bar. So fortunately, though, it still made a lower high. So that's barely lower high. This thing's so bullish this morning. It's looking very wedgy up into this. If I was going to be a pattern trader, this looks like it's ascending triangle. Looks like it's going to gain some feet. I might play this a smidge more conservative with it knocking on the door this heavy. So if we get a lot of legs here, I want to catch this 516 level, and I might sell this one with like 4, just because I know it's a strong seller, you know. Yeah, I might just try and cast a little net. Front run it with 2, hit the center and conservative the rest of it. Try and stagger this out a little bit. All right. Because if this cracks to the upside, this thing could have some. This thing could look like one of these bad boys right here, right? Which is like a. How big is that damn bar? Excuse my language. How big is this bar? 367 to 401. So roughly 40, 50 points on a two minute. So that would put us up at the 500 level. Right up here. No, it would put us at the 510s. So I don't want to see me get ran through. That's roughly me risking 13 points. It's $26 a contract, 2 contracts, so $52. I think if we ran up into the 516s, though, we're going to reject. I should average a little bit. I'm putting 2 here, so this should be enough of an average for me. Again, running into the seller here, but I want to see. I would like to be a buyer in this market. Would love to be a buyer in this market. We get a little bit of range. This works. This strat works a little bit better in range and at extremes. So, for example, if we would have been more of a macro buyer, right? More of a macro buyer from where these previous buyers were, something like that. If we would have played these buyers here, oops. If we would have played these buyers here, right? On a more macro sense, we could play the volume. So you can play the extremes of volume and see where big sellers are, big buyers are, and just kind of play these huge ranges. For me, I'm on such a small time frame. With the 2 minute, I'm really just trying to get some action between some tight ranges, especially when we have these really horrible range bound days where my strategy can't even get in on range bound days. And when I do get in, usually everybody's getting chopped around, right? So when we have nice clean trend days like today, this strategy is a little harder to. I know there's sellers here, but you gotta kind of maneuver what's happening in the markets. So worst case here, right? Because since this buyer is so vast, worst case scenarios we have one of. Let's see here. Worst case, we chunk in and get, oh, even here is not too bad. Like, it's still, you find buyers that just get overtaken. Worst case is this. This is worst case. But even here, we can see that strong buying wasn't happening based off the price action until right here. From here to here. This is where your strong buying actually popped into play, and then some strong buying happened right here. Just based off price action. Right here. Oh, it's not letting me do it. There you go. There, and then right here. That's your strong buying. And it just cracked right into it. So if you're going to be aggressive, you're here, you lost that many points. Whatever that is. 130, 146 to you lost like 80, 90 points. No, not 80, 90 bucks. But yeah, that's an example. Back over here. Ooh. All right. Oh my goodness. Me over here. Oh, give me the fill, please. Trying to front run it a little bit, just missed me. Let's get a little tag here. Give me for one. No. We get one here. Got one. All right. I'm in for one. So this is decent selling between here and here. This volume should uptick. So we made test up into down this buyer down here. So I do want to take one off about a halfway point between these two players here. So 54.75. Where I would like to be a. Did I buy two or one? About one up there. We'll see. If I get in for two down here with a little bit better average, we'll see where we're going to be at. Not a recommendation, by the way. Trade at your own risk. We failed the pre-market high on a 5-minute standpoint. So depending on how this volume works, I might be actually looking for a short with the house blend. So we're going to see how this works. This here, from here to here, if this closes strong selling. Close strong selling into this bar here. It's just, I think this buying is stronger. But look at the volume uptick here, right? So you have new sellers coming into the market here. So that doesn't make me feel as easy. I might want to be a buyer right here, a little bit more conservative where these guys are. Front run this a little bit, but I'm going to change my stance here a little bit. 454 is where I want to get out of this long here. 454.75, 454.75. Oh, that's 5. I'm scrolling up way too much. What am I doing? 454.75. Okay, I might just have to manually close this one if I can't get there fast enough. 454.75. I want to be a seller here. So, let's see. Now this is your strong buyer here. Oh, look at this. It's like a fair value gap almost on a 2-minute. I don't trade fair value gaps, but nonetheless, this kind of is one. Posted my fibs off the opening range in the FTT screen share. Do you have them in your Discord chat too? If you have them in your Discord chat, I'll link them in a browser and then throw them up as well. So that was a little disappointing. Selling's coming in heavy. I think we're going to find buyers here. I'm doubling down here. Hopefully we just don't crack and go crazy. I'll post them. Okay. I'll show them in a second. So we chunked into this buyer a little bit down here, right? Should still find a buyer. The only strength here is here between these two sellers here. So we might dumpster into the seller, but we knew that there was a strong seller here. Now we gotta wait. This is the last Mohican here. So this guy's gone. This guy just got taken. Boom. So I want to see a little pop, cover a couple up here because I don't want to hold 3 with this price action, right? So I'm gonna try and cover. I'm gonna try and cover one of them up here if we get up here, and if not, I'm gonna try and cover the other one down here. So let's see what happens. Strong selling, very strong. Look at this. Look how strong this is, right? So again, The buyer is here. I'm trying to finesse it so I just don't lose like everything, basically. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, oh yeah, well finally we got our out here. So this will be my last buy. My last buy will be here at the 396. Our average is a smidge high. But yeah, I don't feel too bad. I know there's buyers here. Just how strong are these sellers? You know, if these sellers are just powerful, it is what it is. They're just gonna start eating up these buyers. So, okay, posted it under the NQ channel. All right, let me manage this trade. Actually, you know what? Let me see here. Let me see here. Get over to. Okay. How can I open this in browser? I can't open this in browser. There we go. Okay, it's a little hard to see, but can I zoom in? All right, there we go. Let's get over to this chart here. I'm still managing this trade, by the way. I'm going to cover one here. Covering one. I lost 30 on that one. I'm covering one there. Just to ease up some of the risk. There's a bunch. Let me see. We're at 4. What are we at? 4 something right now? 420. So then 429 is going to be the area for the fib. And I think that is the 50. The 382 is at what? 390? 390? About? See. We'll see. Alright, so we broke with the 2-bar. Strong break here. There's an argument to be made that I should probably go short. How big was this volume here? Didn't break this. This is the volume that I wanted it to break. So if this volume would have came up past this is close though. This is close. So much for not selling this market aggressively, huh? So with this new selling, your new seller is, oh, we just missed that tick. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, so your new selling here. This is where I would say your new seller is right here. This is the new guy. This isn't as strong. Obviously, this isn't that strong. I mean, this is a big set. Oh, come on, gimme. No way. All right, I'm filling one there. Let's see if we can get tapped on this other one. How did that happen to the tick? It's supposed to be filled for 2 here. Oh, it's like, oh, I'll come fill you, all right. All right, so that's a little disappointing. Obviously, we're chunking into this buyer here. There we go, got the second one. All right, so now with this, we should find our real, I think the real dude is here. There's a real nice strong buyer is here. So I'm assuming there's a little bounce. If this whole thing just gets engulfed straight down, it is what it is. So let me see here. We got filled for 4. I want to cover 2 up here somewhere. Need that buyer to step in. Don't forget to show. Oh, my bad. Thank you. So I got filled for a couple down here. Good morning. And I want to see me just cover a couple here to lower the risk, right? If it can get there, which I'm pretty sure there's a buyer here. We definitely have a buyer down there. I definitely don't want to get down there before I cover. If this thing just like sells off like crazy, though, this is real selling though right here. And we ran right up into our seller as expected. So let's see. Let's see here. So really, I might take one off of the 424 level. 424, I might take a couple there. Take 2 off there. If we can get there. Hopefully we can get there. I run it a touch. Oh, that's a new bar. We're gonna take one off. Take one off of the new bar. I'm right there. All right. Gonna dip our toes back into this seller again. I wouldn't mind being a buyer again at 394. E4. 395 is gonna front run me a little bit. Nah, it's okay. Buy one more around there. All right, so from a price action standpoint on the top step, big seller here, right? Pretty big. Volume's huge. We're inside this bar though. Not ready to take this short yet. Still going to be looking for, you know, we have the bottom of the range, bottom of this actual range here. We're going to steepen this one a little bit. This thing could full-fledged dump. I mean, I'm well aware of that. But I'm assuming we're going to catch this buyer here. Let's find out. We knew that there was that seller though. That's why I said I was going to be surprised if all of this kind of just shoots up. I say we still maybe knock on the door, but we are getting up towards that range, so. All right, there's one. Made $4. All right, so middle of the range here. I know there's strong buyers up here. I may want to front run this a touch, maybe at 438. Threes. Might just take one off as we get up there. 438. See if I can get there first. Take one off at 438. There's a little seller here at 435. Not too bad. Yeah, let's get one out. What are we still in for one? Yeah, it's good. We'll call it. This thing can come down again. I want to be a buyer down here again. Yeah, I think this is your strong seller here. I think this is the dude. Are we in the right range? Oh, my goodness. Sorry. You have a major pivot at 403.88. 403.88. So I'm gonna try and buy another one down here. I took one off. You see the fills up here, right? So we took one hit on that first one. That was the front run at 422 or whatever that was. Where we get in at? We got on up there for sure. Hey, Dewey. Good morning. How's your morning going? I feel like this range is a little bit trickier for your strat, but I might be wrong. Because of the, you probably made most of your money here, right? You made most of your money here. I don't feel like you made it here or made it here. Made it here. I felt like you made money here, here. Am I right or wrong? Theory. Did I get filled for that other one? Oh no, because I just took it. 438 did a touch? No, not yet. I short during the market report at 8:30. Okay. Oh, so you were here. Oh yeah, you were. Oh yeah. If you made you made your money here, that's a different story. All right, I'm gonna take this last one off right here. I'm gonna try and sell a couple at the 477s. Let's see here, 477. Sell two. Did I sell two? I'll sell one. I'll sell two. I'll sell one. Sell one and front run the other one a touch. So not strong buying here yet. The buyer's here. This isn't strong buying. This is a result of this buyer here. There is a seller here. I might want to just barely front run this dude. Barely. Front run the other guy. And then jump up into the seller here. So if this V shapes, I'm screwed. But if it doesn't, we're good. Back to the house blend here. Still not a lot going on. There will be a lot of opportunity, especially with the range, as we start to play some range, extremes, traps. But that trap this morning, that 50-point trap, was the only thing that the strategy is saying. This is a bid here. Everything else has been pretty Stagnant. We did have a 2-bar break with good volume. I didn't love the volume in comparison with I wanted to see it get above this volume, and it just didn't get there. So that is what that is. Back to the scalp chart. Is that run up? Okay, Dewey. I shorted during the market report at 8:30, covered, then I went biking. Came back high. Oh, my bad. Came back at the high. Well, you probably came back high too, like an endorphin high. Was thinking this PPI will repeat CPI run yesterday. When I got back from biking, I took the short back down, missed all that run up. Yep. Yeah, that was a big run up. Yep. Then I find that buyer here. He's still here. He's hanging on. Hanging on, and then you had your new buyer here, which we identified right here. Tapped into this dude. Yep. Retest of 0.786. So major pivot at 403. So we pivoted at 403, right, Shark? This is semi-strong. Where'd my volume go? Uptick in volume here. This could be the buyer kind of stepping in a little bit. Right here. All right, so the question is here, do I want to short this aggressively off this buildup? Probably not. Probably want to be a little bit more conservative. Nah, I'll short one, but I'll be conservative with the second one. Protect him. Put one here. So the idea is the new buyer here, right, that just pressed up against this guy a little bit. That's putting pressure on my front. So with this, do I want to be such an aggressive shorter? Probably not. With new buying, this buyer still being active, I may want to wait and see. We do have this seller is active here though. The seller's here, so let's just see how this works. And for the Top Step account, the house blend, still nothing yet. Nice. All right. By the way, if you guys are new, welcome to the stream. Thank you for liking the like button. Hit the subscribe as well. Streaming Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 9:30 Pacific. And we're trying to find out buyers and sellers. We're using 2 different strategies, 1 theory. And the theory is just find buyers and sellers. So this is a new scalping strategy. It's in its infancy. This one's not pegged yet. So this one, you're kind of watching me think through the process and create this one live, as opposed to this one that has much data. A lot of new back testing done with this strat. So as long as I trade it well, I make money. That's just how it works. This one's a really great strat I've been working on. But now that I understand a little bit more about footprints, I understand how to find buyers and sellers. Now it gives me an understanding of why this works, why the 2 bars work, why the traps work, and because of this. This thing is going to get ready for another rendition, and this rendition should be close to its final rendition based off of pure price action. I'm going to have a simple version available for people to learn how I trade my strategy, and I'll have a more in-depth theoretical one eventually in the future. That'll be available. So that being said, we're going really strong into this one here. Got a little short here. Really, I think we're going to come test these guys. If we come pop up, I'll average down up there. I'm going to take this one off, probably at the 34s. If it comes back down, 34. I'll be a buyer at 34 here to cover. If we run this one, though, up, which is very possible, what I don't want to see is I just don't want to see a huge... If we do see a huge hammer, though, it should come here and then back somewhere, but... do a little bit of front running here. So not too bad. What are we up? We're up 16 bucks minus 30, 14 minus that 28 plus whatever that is. So we're basically up $95 of 45 points. $45 points, and I went long through this whole thing. Talk about sketch. I was like dropping it on a half pipe right there. It was like, oh, like a new one. No guards, no elbow pads or helmet. That was just me flying straight in. It's crazy. So this buying looks pretty good here. A little uptick in a new buyer here. So we would make an argument that the buyer is starting to step up his position against the seller here. There's a sell side liquidity here, but I'm going to take a little one here. Now that we have a little bit of structure, a little bit of range to deal with here. But this, I would consider, so far, a new buyer. We'll see if it retraces or not, though. I don't like that green. I like that one better. House blend strategy, nothing working yet. Just that trap this morning. Other trades yet. All right, if we fly up, I want it here. Why am I not shorting here? Let's see. I think I want it 474 too. One-minute ATR 459 area for the short. Magenta. Put it in there. I'm fine with that. I'm good with that, Dewey. I'll meet you there. Make sure I put it there. The 9 on the money. All right, so we're eating up into the seller now a little bit. And this looks very strong. So the question is, the volume is just not as much. Look at how this volume ramped up, right? Let's see where this volume's at. Right here, here. We're still not quite there yet. So I'm still gonna be okay with a short in the short term. Short in the short term. The structure looks strong though. Looks great for a long so far. Just the volume. This is the uptick in volume. This was a downtick in volume. So I'm not moving this up to here. Let's see. Let us see. I almost want to take another one. Right here. Tempted. Very tempting. So about to tap into the pre-market high again. 456 is that pre-market high. 3-minute time frame not strong yet though. You talking about the strong? You mean bullish strong or bearish strong? Yeah, this thing does full flags. This thing full flags here. This is going to be in trouble for the long for my I mean, we'll still be fine up here. It's just I don't want to be taking that much risk on the short term. House blend though, this one strategy, that was it so far. One trade long here. This was it. 1.75 off this. Beautiful. Same thing as yesterday. Gorgeous. All right, did I get filled for another? Not yet. Getting there. Getting close. All right, so starting to eat up into the sell side. This liquidity up here. Selling, there we go. Got a second one there. All right. And then I got some sells up here. I don't know if I want to, I could probably take one more at 66. I don't know if I want to be in for 3, but I'll take one more at 66 if we come up here. How many am I in for? 2? Ooh, give me this dude. Even though the structure nice, the volume's tapered off, so missed it. A little disappointed. Oh, maybe not. Bar's dredging it up there. Worst case scenario, this thing flies like this. All right, I'm gonna cover one there. Cover was just to minimize my risk. We still have sellers here, 20 seconds left. I just don't want to get my, I don't want to get, caught with my pants down around there. Still don't think these sellers are going to take. What do we have? 442. 442, I'll buy 3. I'll start buying with, do I want to buy with 1? Nah, I would rather be a buyer like down here. 423. Yeah, 441. I'll buy one at 441. A little bit ahead of that. It's like right there. Let's see. Let us see. So I'm making the one. Oh, Dewey, again, how do I get the ATR? I've been wanting to get your ATRs on my chart. Can I do that on Quant, or is it TradingView, or how would I do that? Or if I'm even allowed, is that like some, is this some, how do you say? Is this some, is it top secret? Is there a paywall? Your ATRs are actually, I was talking to the Discord chat the other day. I was like, the only thing I'm actually interested in throwing on this besides volume is ATRs on a 2-minute. That would be something that I'm interested in doing. How would I get that? Do you think they'd have that on Quantower or anything? And thank you, by the way. I do appreciate that a lot, dude. Thinkorswim platform? Boy. Alright, come on, mate. Let's get down here. Come on. A little farther. Let's tap back into these buyers down here. Come on. Nope, didn't want it. It's misbehaving. I don't know about QT or Ninja. Okay. Thank you, Dewey. I'm gonna try and find something like that. I really like the ATRs that you had because I like how you can kind of see them. There we go. Got my fill there. All right. So even though this is a buyer long, why do I have one here? This is a buyer long. I want to see it kind of come down to this buyer down here before I'm really interested. I want it to come down here. Yeah, we could buy the. I'll buy the 50 point here. I'll buy 2 at this 423. So he just bounced right off that seller, but so he's aggressive, but we'll see. 423. I don't know. I feel like this is a lower high here. If this is a lower high here, we're gonna shunk down. The 422.50, I'll buy there. And then I'm gonna be a buyer at 413. 413 what? Is that 413.50? Oops, that's fine. And then I want to be a big buyer at 394. Let's see, no, we could be a buyer at 400. 401. All right, cast a little net here. So in theory, right, I try and cover one close to break even. Like this was probably a little hasty. I may not even want this one. I want to buy this one at the bottom of this range here. But like if anything's gonna get blown through, it's gonna be this one. Right here. Right here. Average true range trailing stop is a volatility-based indicator that sets dynamic stop loss levels for market exits or entries. This indicator uses the average true range metric a bit that evaluates market volatility to determine whether trailing stops will be placed. Ooh, good. See, I'm digging this. I need to get on ATR. ATR has got to be that's got to get in this strat for sure. That would be just a nice neighbor. Like a neighbor you want to move in, you're just like stoked he mows your lawn for you, you know? You're like, dude, you just want to do stuff for him. You're like, dude, what do you need hung? Dude? You need me to like, let me help you hang up your stinking Christmas lights? I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying. You know. Good neighbors. Some of the stuff's like bad neighbors. You're just like, dude, this dude, I don't even know why he's here. This dude needs to move out. All right, let's see if we can get down here a little bit. Again, this is the strongest seller. This dude here by far should be the strongest seller. So this guy was strong as we ran into them, right? Started chewing a little bit into that liquidity a little bit. But and then they stepped up their play here. This buyer's still here. Well, let me see the volume here. Uptick in volume. Look at this volume compared to the buy side volume here. Just like these little chunks, right? So I personally think that we kind of come down a little lower. I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't even know if I want to be a buyer here. To be real, I don't even know if I want to be a buyer. I would rather be a buyer here for 2822. It's 22 level. No, but let me see. I'll stagger this out. 418, 318, 418. I'll cast a little net here. 1875. All right, let's look at the 5-minute. See what's going on right now on the 5-minute on the house strat here. Nothing too crazy. Ripping up. I have a couple different trends marked here. Looking for a breakout. I would need this to pretty much break out of both of these, unfortunately. This is almost flat though. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. We might get our second leg, tap back into this buyer again, do a little pop, or we might just shove through everything here. But we'll see. I don't know. Nothing too crazy yet. Kind of quiet. Back over here. So I want to be a buyer here. I think of all the buyers, probably like 930. This isn't real selling here yet, in my eyes. There's an argument made about that. Possibly could have been a buyer there. I already had my buy there, but I don't know. With this volume here, I mean, the only thing that makes me feel good about this is the selling looks heck weak. So this buying's also not as strong, but this is the buyer here that I want to be interested in. So maybe I should just move that up just a kiss, just a chef's kiss. All right, 423, and where's this at? 419. Oh, I'm right here. I'm at 420. Go 419. Maybe 420. Right around that 420. All right. So, anyways. Dewey, I love it, dude. Okay, so what we have observed in the past, the price will move towards it. So when we see it trade towards it and take off 80% of what we hold, it usually gets there, kisses it, and pull back. Sometimes it pierces through ATR, but it does not close above it, unless momentum is higher, time frame is stronger than that direction. That makes sense. Oh, okay, you just perfect. Yeah, I was reading that perfect timing. Yep. Okay, so if you guys want to read Dewey's notes, by the way, I'm filled for one. Hold on, Dewey, I'll put that up here after I'm done managing this trade. So this selling a little stronger here. All right, see that uptick in volume? So this is getting shoved into a little bit. I am going to be a buyer here. I would like to cover between, not cover, I would like to get just a little pop here at the 30s maybe. Am I in for two? I'm in for 2. So I'm going to take 1 off at 30 if we can get up to 30. If we start shoving below here, I'm going to be a buyer again, and really I want to be a buyer down there. Come on. Get down here. Get down here. I ain't scared of you. We got 30 seconds left in this candle. But I'm going to share the charts that I'm sending you on Discord. I think I can share them, Dewey. I'm going to share them in a second. Right after this trade. Come on, get down here. Give me for one more. Pretty big candle here. Nice uptick in volume. This is a strong seller here. Kind of pushing through this guy. So we're going to assume this guy in 9 seconds is gone. But we are tapping into this buyer, and then we have another buyer down here. So I got a couple more orders here. All right, so this guy, gone. This guy, chewed up. Increase in volume here, nice price action. You have your new seller that's pushing it down into this market. If we look at the volume though, the volume here compared to the volume here, still a little shy. I'm gonna cover 1 right here. And I'm going to take another cover at 27 possibly. Oh, I already had one up there. Okay, we'll go with that one there. 47.50. Fill me. No. I'm taking it. No way. Didn't fill me that second time. Give me. There we go. All right. I'll hold the other one. $8? All that stress for $8? So we are running into that strong seller there. I probably should have took it at the top of that range there. I just know that there's buyers down here. So I'd probably be looking to be a buyer down here again. I do have a couple more buy orders down here. So this is your new seller right here. This closes right here. So I might throw another one up there. It's 29s. 20, I'll go 27. Go right ahead of that wick there. 3-minute RSI at 40. Okay, so Dewey, give me one. Let's see here. Let me pull up these charts actually. All right, so. All right, so let me pull up this one. Pull this one up. Browser here, and I'm going to pull up this one in browser here. So why don't you talk us through? Still managing this trade. Let me just do a little update on the top step real fast. We did break this up channel here, and the volume, we want to get the volume above this one. So if this goes red and this flips red, I want to see the volume stack up above this. We do have a strong buy here. It doesn't mean that this is going to go down below this level though yet. I mean, it doesn't mean that this is going to retrace up. These sellers could try and take this, really start to take it. So see where it heads here. Okay, nonetheless, this actually is a little bit of a bear trap. So if this closes, notice that we close here, broke it, tried to go lower, come back in the range. As long as we don't get above here, I'm going to be looking to take this long on the house blend strat. Not a trading recommendation, trade at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor. Anything you hear here is for entertainment purposes only. Trading futures is extremely risky. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Dewey. Oh, did I not show you? Yeah, we're here. Dewey. If you're here, are you still here, Dewey? I can't, dude. Yeah, but you could still type us in here. So what we're seeing here, there's a lot of lines on the scribs, a lot of fibs, but just give us a couple key details of what you like to look for in the chat so that the chat can read this. Oh, this is really blown up actually. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right. Can the chat see that okay? I'm sure you guys see that okay. So Dewey goes from 15 to 20 points. By the way, I'm going to close that last one. Even though I know we're sitting here between these players. I'm going to be a buyer here again at 410. Second here. Oh, look, there's another buyer there at 410. I'll join him. Okay. Let me double check here. 20 seconds left. All right, so if this line goes above this line, I'm going to take it long on house trap. I might take it on my rhythmic too then. Might as well. 6 needs to go above this line here. 3, 2, 1. All right, long. I'm going to go long here as well. All right. So let's see here. Give me 1 second. In a strong trend, would we call this a strong trend? I'm going to go 1.75 here. 0.75. And I'm going to do a stop out. 3 points below that. So roughly, I'll just put it right below 400. All right. So there's that trade. That's like a 1-to-1 with the risk that I have, but it is what it is. Also got back in long with the other strat. Okay, so let's get back to your chart. Sorry, Dewey. So remember the one-page of rules that I sent you? Yes, I do. Do I remember all of them? No, but the 3-minute RSI is still on trend with the 40-minute. 3-minute on trend, 40-minute on trend, on trend. Okay. If it gets there, price can get to 2400-ish or 390. Are you talking about right now? Talking about right now? You're not talking about this current chart? I'm talking about this chart. Here, just break it down a little bit. I know we got the MACD here. I know we have the RSI. And I think you put it, it's a 70-30, but really you're looking for the 68-40. These are fibs, Fibonacci levels. And then your magenta and blue lines are your ATR, your average true range. And then I don't know what the white one is, but you have bands as well. A short up there where the ATR is reached, right? So when ATR is reached, you'll short like this one right here. Right, this would have been a short right here, this magenta line. Yeah, your fibs are. You want to remove them and resend me one without the fibs because this is a little bit. I mean, I can understand it, but some of these other guys, it's gonna be a little heavy for them. All right, so the trap's almost working. Tapping back up into the seller up here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, 438. I think that's where my take profit is up on this one. So I think I'll take a profit up there. 438.25. Did we get it? Come on, baby. Make a nice push. There we go.
Order filled.
All right. Got the fills on the top step and got the filled on the thing. So trap, again, love this pattern. Love, love, love it. Bounce right off our buyer here. Ran up, digging into the seller. No, the seller's still present. Let's have a quick little look at our... Okay. This is going to be... I'm going to tell you right now, I would share your roles, Dewey. I would. I'll do it. But that's going to be way too much for everyone else. Maybe not, though. Okay, so on the stream, because this is like, this is beyond, this is like, to be able to look at like 4 different confluences is really difficult. Yeah. No, I'll do it. I'll do it, Dewey. I'm gonna share them. How do I? All right, here we go. All right, we'll do that in a second. And then, yes, this is without the Fibonacci, so this is good too. Okay, cool. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So Dewey's chart here. Let's just look at this chart for a second. He's got the 1 minute, 3 minute, and the VIX. Right, so 1 minute, 3 minute VIX. Now the VIX is going to, if the VIX starts going down, this is going to allow the NQ to have some upside potential here. But if the VIX starts flushing up, starts shooting up, what that's going to do is that's going to start putting down pressure, right, off the open right here. Right here. This is your little tiny bit of a, like, see how the VIX is starting to fall a little bit? Then it just, I think this is the same time frames. And then it's jumped up, this dumped down. So if you guys don't know how to play inverse ETFs, that is one way. The VIX is one of them, volatility index. Nonetheless, ATR, average true range lines, are your average true range. High is the magenta, low is the purple, and you can see it bounce right off of these different levels. You have a little bit of a bounce here. He's a scalper, so he's going to take off different points at different levels. Let me just do a quick little look here, see what we're dealing with. Nothing much. Little peek here, 15 minute. 15 minutes, nothing much either. Okay, back to this. So if you guys want, screenshot these rules, or this is a live, so you can just go back and do this anyway. So okay, so you apply the same rules to the MNQ and VIX. So these are the rules. Dewey's RSI histogram rules, how to trade them together. 3 humps of green, red histograms, short equals short and long. So RSI, relative strength index, rising from the 30 line region oversold. So a long trade from the RSI 40 pullback and exit at the RSI 60 line. So when the RSI is at the 40, this is going to be part of the criteria. You enter long at the 40. Again, it needs context. You don't just do this automatically with the RSI. There's a lot of context involved here. But when it pulls back to the 40, you would exit at the 60, and he's saying the 50 line's in play too. But you know, as a general rule, you don't need to put all that. As the RSI moves up towards the 30 line, treat the RSI 40 line as a resistance. Breaking this resistance is a signal strength to the upside. RSI breaking above the 40 line is treated as a signal for potential bullishness. Now the RSI may touch the 40 line, so that's 2. 3, RSI may touch, by the way, I'm still looking at the charts here, starting to get up into the seller here a little bit. He is still present. We do have a tiny bit of a new buyer, but I'm not really, you know, I could pretty much just sell this range here for the rest of the day. And then looking at the top step levels, until we kind of break out of this trend, there's really nothing much for me to do. So RSI, so let's just look here. RSI moves up from the 30 line. So here's the 30 line. As it moves up to the 30 line, notice this 40 line down here. That's going to act as a resistance. So if we break the 40 line from Dewey's standpoint, this is going to be bullish. The breakout above this, which is a signal to strength to the upside. So it's a signal for potential bullishness. Now it may touch the 40 line and retreat. Don't go long yet. Wait for a retest. So what he's saying is when you break out of the 40, this is the 40 here. Break out, you want to wait for a retest. This isn't a true retest, but this is kind of close to a retest. But you notice that if you would have lined that up, there's your retest. Even though it went down, this is still huge strength. Ripped. So as a general, this is his thing. So I'm assuming, I believe that those RSI lines are between 40, 50, 60 are where the algo bots place their entries. Okay. That's good. Now, by the way, started to tap into the seller a little bit here. I'm going to be a seller at 453. I'm going to take a couple sells at 453. Not a recommendation. Trade at your own risk. I'm going to take one at 453.75. And I'm going to play another one at the 460. Oh, look at that. There's a seller up there at 460s. I'll join him. I'll join that seller at 460. All right, so I have a couple sells there. Okay. For the rest, RSI will most likely retest the 40 line after breaking through. Sometimes it may not retest and continue upwards, depending on the fall. 3 minute, you may see retested 40 lines, but 5 minute rarely. So 1 minute, 3 minute. If we were to look at this area off the 1 minute, we would see that both of these dip below the 30. I'm telling you, dude, this is, I would have to sit here, even for me, and I feel like I'm decent at learning. By the way, we had a full break above these sellers. These sellers are gone. Let me just crack over there real quick. Sellers are gone. The ones that were right here, I just removed them. They were here. These guys cracked through them. Increasing volume here. Strong bodies here. So as long as this closes, we're going to get a strong buyer. So this is a buyer that's trying to look to take this up. It doesn't mean he will. He's not here yet. I'm just front running this marking a little bit. So that way, because if this retraces, he's gone. And I'll just say this. So far it's just this right here. I'm going to look to short here. Hopefully I just don't get ran through. But it is what it is. This isn't real selling here for me. This is your real sellers right here. This pocket. Okay. Back to the rules. Demonstration. So, and by the way, Dewey, so, I mean, I'm going to say, there's a lot of information here, but once you kind of learn, I think the best way to look at this would be learn one indicator at a time. Just look at the RSI, and then be able to use your ATR as points of where you can take potential profits. Long entry on the retest of the forest line only if the histogram is green on the 3 and 5 minute, or 45-degree positive slope on the right histogram. So let's go back here. This is your histogram. So only go long if it's green here on this green, or above the 50 point. So it has to be green here. That's what you're saying, green. All right, so we're retracing a little bit, seeing if this buyer is going to be back in play here. Tapping into this buyer again. If not, I got my buys down here. So could be a buyer at these levels here. And then if not, we're going to come back down here again, see if we're going to test these buyers. Dewey says it's at least only one page right of rules. This, I mean, I don't know. You have a whole C section. Is there anything below the C section, or is this it? Is this where the secret sauce is down here? The D. The D section. So here you guys are. Here's Dewey's rules. He's a profitable trader from what he says, and I trust. Well, how do we say it? I give everyone benefit of doubt. So I would say just go looking for reactions. You have the rules here, and if you're interested in a little bit more, I would say this is more advanced though. It's not simple. Over time, this is gonna get simple, but this is gonna be like if you're new to the markets, if you're new to the markets, this is gonna be like trying to eat a steak when you're a baby, right? So, but if you got your some stuff under the belts, Dewey, thank you so much for sharing this with us. You guys can take a look at this later too, see how these things will work. Dewey's here. Usually he's here every morning, so any questions about this strat, but he does really well. Built a nice system around this. I love the ATR. The ATRs are my favorite. I'm telling you, I love these ATRs. I want them really bad on my charts. I feel like they would work really well on my strat. So still consolidating in these ranges, I mean, I wasn't showing you guys the right screen the whole time. Well, it was, but it wasn't. Nonetheless, you guys saw the rules. Go back. This thing will be live. You can go screenshot them. Go pick them apart. So this buyer is still active here, as we see right here. So we see this new buyer that stepped up into the game. I would not could probably consider this guy a buyer too. Probably. but these guys are more likely to get ran through. More likely to get ran through. I'm kind of I want to short this guy up here. This to me still isn't real selling, but I bet you if I was on a 5-minute or something, it would look a little cleaner. Actually, I'm on a 5-minute. Boom, boom, uptick in selling. Yeah, so this is clean selling here. So from this standpoint, if we were to go like this, we would have a strong seller here, right? From a 5-minute, see the increasing volume up there. You would consider this a new seller. But yeah, from a 2-minute though, nah. From a 2-minute, I don't really like those too much. This to me was the Kraken right here. So, and then we have the seller up here, which I think is from that 5-minute. Yeah, it was from that 5-minute. So yeah, so our real sellers here. Oh, so that kind of confirms what I was thinking about, anyways. So if we go back to the top step, this chart here, the 5-minute. So what I had charted out is I had charted out basically a couple little buyers down here. It's like a couple little buyers somewhere right here. This is not the actual buyers. This is just kind of the ideas of where the buyers were technically. But we had this real seller here, and then this seller though, I said is full of crap. So this guy is full of crap right here. This dude, not real. Could be. I don't think he is. I think this is your seller here. So when I go back to the price action here, oh, Dewey, come on now. Come on now, Dewey. You got to compete against me, dude. I mean, you can get second place. I give you second place. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, dude, it'd be sick. Yeah, dude, it'd be sick. It's a good achievement, dude. I'll definitely enter the Robins eventually. I think this strat would be the way I'm developing this would be more likely to do a Robins because of how if I can get real pinpoint with this, like how you're pinpoint, I can start to scale up my size kind of quick. Whereas with this strat here, I have to stay really. It's a really good, clean, simple, profitable strat, but I have to stay really, really, really disciplined. And you know, I'm not trading all the time. We've only taken 2 trades today. The strat has. They're both been profitable trades. Right, this one and this one. Those are your 2 for the day here. Yeah. Boom, boom. Still good though. About 70 points. What was his record? Looking pretty strong how we're flagging up into here. I'm going to be... The way that sellers are pushing up into this, I'm going to play this a little tiny bit more conservatively. Move this one over here. So, because of the way this is kind of forming and flagging to the price action, this looks like this can carry a lot of strength here. So, buyers are continuing to accumulate, whereas sellers are, well, we haven't had a real seller since over here. But these buyers are trying to step this up. So, $11,000%. A beast. It's a mil? 1.1 mil? How long is the cup? Is it a full year? Is that what it is? Dang. It's pretty solid. Was that futures or was that stocks? I forget how it works. Oh, really? Michelle Williams is Larry's daughter? Dang. Dang. It's beast. All right. Let's see if we get a little tap here. This is looking decent. Volume's still pretty low here, but yeah, I don't know if I want to front run this too much. I am kind of getting that front run territory. Let me see here. This could definitely get up to 70s. I may just want to wait for a 70 break. I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna wait for a 70 break. I'm gonna play this really conservatively because we haven't had new sellers really interested yet, but new buyers are stepping in here. So I'm gonna play this really conservative. If we do get a pop up here, then I would like to take that. By the way, this is going to be a little bit of a bull trap if this closes red on a 2-minute standpoint. 2 minutes likely to get ran through though. I don't know about this music. It's a little too synthy for me. So the reason why I don't really, I mean, maybe a third test up here, but because of how flagged this is here, if we actually do it, we're going to put in another leg. And I really don't even want to be shorting this next leg if it's a true flag, right? But you got to think, the market, in my eyes, is getting to prep this dude here, right? And we're going to get up and go and try and test this dude. So this player, even though he's here, I think this market's gaining strength to go and try and mess with this 518s, 520s. So even here, I don't know if I really want to be too much of a seller, right? I want to be playing probably a little bit more of a conservative action up here. Because if we do leg up and fly up into these areas, I'm expecting a little bit of a slap down here. Hold on 1 second here. I'm going to mute my mic just for 1 second. All right, I'm back. So, true flag here. Looks really good. I just don't, I'm going to be honest with you. If we're going to come up and fly up into these dudes, I would rather be short here, but I'm going to play conservative reach from these dudes. Because we're going to plug up into here. Okay, thanks, honey. We're going to plug up here, shove down a little bit, I feel like, and then see if we get the buyers to step in. If buyers step in here, we're going to test this one. And this is going to be the true test here. Let me see here. She's in Hot Futures. They have Forex too. Larry, one of the futures. Larry probably did an investment. How many FTT accounts do you have now? I thought I saw like 5. No, heck no. I've never had 5 FTT. I've only, let's see, I had 2. We had the rhythmic issues. Blew one of them with the rhythmic issues. I waited for them to do the migration, and I'm only doing one. How many payouts do we have you gotten from Top Step? Because I haven't gotten one yet, but they've just been dealing with so many bugs lately. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to get to multiple yet. I'm more using my Top Step to accrue. Which the Top Steps, I'm trying to just build up the bankroll to where I can actually, like, I won't even get another XFA until this one's up to probably like a 5 micro size. So it's got to have like 15 grand in the account and I start trading with 5 micros. VIX is not as predictable on Monday and has the macroeconomic data. Oh, okay. And on days of high macro. So today's at one of those days then, correct? I don't know if I got that book yet, Dewey. I'm gonna check it out though. Thank you. Okay. Yesterday, CBI fix was working. So we're tapping back into this buyer here again, right? So this dude's still here and present. Still not an uptick in volume on the sell side yet. See how this is kind of down on the volume. So assuming that this is not a real seller yet, if this all of a sudden goes really strong, closes strong, even the wick here though, I would say that I don't know. Without the volume being nice and high here, this is questionable. So how many points would that have been? 426 to 36, 10 points. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. If you guys are new to the stream, welcome. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We're trading two different strategies here. We're trying to find and identify the buyers and sellers in the market currently through price action, using theory from footprint, order book, and kind of just having an understanding of the markets. We're trading the 2-minute here, but it is not relative to the 2-minute. If we change it up to the 5-minute, 15-minute, we would see a more macro, bigger players, right? Right now we're just trying to scalp, 10, 20, 30, 40 points using this, trying to play ranges, right? Since we've had kind of these wider range days though, it makes it a little bit harder when I'm trying to build something for days like this where there's real tight, days like this, profound, right? Even though I know this kind of looks like this, but they're different for sure. See how narrow this is getting here, really getting tight here. So days where we have these players here like this one, it's really great because you're playing against two players in the market here. So yeah, nonetheless, it's nice so far in theory. But here, I say we have new buyers. I am curious because if I'm identifying the new buyers stepping up and there's no new sellers, this could be the key to understanding how these flags work if I can find them through price action. This would be a key. CPI is way more volatile than PPI. Oh, yeah, for sure. So, for sure, Dewey. I just want to hear ATR. Okay, just give me your ATR. I'm just kidding. So, so if that happens, you could technically kind of add the strength here and measure that against the strength here, and eventually here. Be interesting. Still don't really believe in the seller here, even though we're kind of finding some sell side. I think it's just a lack of buying interest up here. I think the buyers are just stepping in on the low. I say we crack this. I might take 470. Did I say 470 before? I'm going to take one at 470. I think there's a seller at 470. It's a big seller at 63 right here. Almost a 200 lot there. We'll go 70. I'll take two. You'll take two? No, I'll take one. All right. All right, man. Dude, hey, thanks for stopping by, dude. Yep. Take care, man. You have a good weekend, too. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you giving us those rules and everything. Actually, it's really nice. Really nice having a solid system, written rules. Execution might be a little difficult, but, man, have a good weekend, Dewey. Thanks for stopping by, dude. All right. I'm actually going to have to pop off here pretty soon. What's up, Alin? How you doing, bro? How's your morning this morning? Yeah. Dewey, that's all right, dude. Today's been okay. We took 2 trades on the homebrew. Just a little recap here. Not great. It's all right, man. Those days will happen. Today was tricky. So today we broke these pre-market lows, try to go lower closed, so the strat took a long here for 1.75. So it caught that long. I actually didn't enter it. Took an L and and a break even. That's all right. That's not bad. If you follow your rules, you had a good morning. That's the bottom line. If you follow your rules and you waited for your setup and it was appropriate, you had a good morning. It doesn't matter if you made money or lost money. If you did something that was against your rules, like me, for example, I didn't take this trade. So to me, that's not a great morning. By the way, we're starting to break this little one here. And then we took another bear trap here. So 2 bear traps on the morning. No trend breaks. Here's a break though. So we'll see how this actually comes up to it. A little uptick in volume here. Yeah, then you're good. Dude, you had a great morning. If you followed every rule, Alan, dude, you had an excellent morning. That's what a professional is. A professional follows their rules. It's not about money is going to come. It's going to be a byproduct of you following rules. That's what it is. If your strategy has an edge, you back tested it, you know it's profitable, then you're going to make money. That's the bottom line. It's going to happen. If you start to deviate, you're done for, dude. You had a fantastic morning if you followed every rule. I'm telling you, I know it feels good to make money, but you deviating from that's not going to be you know what I mean? Strategy, like for me, I lost money because I didn't follow the rules. I got you. All right, so we came up strong in here like I was thinking, right? We still have sellers up here. I think, personally, well, uptick in volume here. I think they're going to try and run this up. I am going to take one here. I'm going to front run the touch. Yeah, it's all good. Alan, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of strat you like trading? What's your setup? Looking for an uptick in volume here on the top step. So if we break, I want the volume to be nice and big. I want it to be, well, it doesn't have to be bigger than this one, but it has to be bigger than this one. So I want to see us crack with some gusto. Yeah, we'll see what happens. This is a very clean flag. I am interested to see the theoretics behind this. So we got another buyer looking to take this up. The seller's starting to get chewed a little bit. I am going to be a seller at 70 for 1. Very light. I'm dipping my toe in the water here. Let's see here. That's decent, strong buying. Stronger upticks in volume. This is going to have to be, this might be like a blast off. So I'm buying a little. Do I have to front run this like this? No. Let's see. I'm just going to be a seller with these guys. No need to go in the middle of this gap here. ICT stuff? No, it's all good. So, like, did you have like a fair value gap, order block? Did you do like power through? What was kind of the setup this morning? Multiple time frames too, probably. Yeah. Okay. Standard deviations, is that what STDV is? And then fair value gaps as well. What's the I in fair value gap? So I might see this get some legs here. I'm expecting to run into the seller again. This strength looks good for the upside. This looks a smidge weaker. This looks really weak here. Inverted. Oh yeah. Inverted fair value gap. Okay. Oh yeah. Inverted, of course. So I think this seller's gonna get taken. I think we're gonna pop off here. I'm playing a little conservative because I know the big seller's here, so I'm casting a little net here. Yeah, so these buyers for the most part work too. Couldn't get back into that range, but once we had that second buyer, could have been a buyer here multiple times. I couldn't find the seller though, but we're tapping into the seller up here. So this volume's upticking, which exudes some confidence. I need a lot of volume here for me to go long with with my strat here. So I might have to wait for one more bar. Let's take a peek. So because of the volume here, it is uptick in volume. We're running into a little bit of this downtrend here, which is where I kind of wanted the short of the 70s. But because of how this is structuring, it looks like we can really blow the top off of this here. So I would like to look to go along with this strat. I'm going to wait for one more bar, I think, though. Even if we break, I would prefer us to break this kind of trend here. Then I wait for one more bar. So, and then if we're going to leg up, we're going to leg up. So, just what it is. Let's get back to the, this. So, you are what? Is this, oh, DC, is this averaging down? Is this what averaging down is? I'm just trying to catch a, I don't know. Is this DC? I don't know. This is just it's just strat. Is this not allowed? Really? Why is this not allowed? Oh, it is allowed on FTT? Oh, dollar cost averaging, right. Dollar cost averaging. That's so strange. I mean, I guess this is DCAing, but really the way I look at it is this is me being an aggressive. This is all the same strategy. This is the same zone. So I want to, this is me being aggressive. This is me being intermediate. This is me being conservative. That's so wild. They won't let you DCA. I mean, it's fine. I could still be a little nitpicky, but it just makes it harder. So this seller's gone, by the way. Take this dude out. Yeah, it's all good. I'll just be a little more conservative. I'll just probably play the mid ranges. I'll play the front ranges, and then we'll see. DCA is dollar cost averaging. So basically, if you're in a trade and it goes against you, if you add more to what they will consider a losing position, that's averaging the cost. So dollar cost averaging is basically trying to get your average down, which is what I'm doing. Technically, I didn't really realize I was doing it, but I guess I am doing it. I was just building a strat around this. But yeah, so dollar cost averaging, I don't know why they don't allow it, but it does make it a little harder for. That does make it harder. If you don't know, if you're inexperienced at trading, it's very poor, actually. Very poor strategy. Usually you'll just lose money. The way I'm looking at it is it's all the same setup for me. I'm just getting it at better prices. Same thing with Top Step. So for example, I'll I guess in ways I'll, like for this trap, for example, typically I would enter one here, right? Or I'm sorry, one here right off the open. And then I like taking a secondary if we retrace about 50% because price gets better. So boom, getting it at a discount. This trade idea hasn't stopped though. I mean, I'm technically not moving my stop. I'm just getting it at a better price. And yeah, it can blow a lot of accounts, but usually, especially with the way that I'm in theory, I think I've blown more accounts due to tilt than due to me dollar cost averaging. Hey, Pop, what's up, dude? Ooh. All right. All right. Well, getting up into this area, unfortunately, as much you kind of see the ideas here. So take a look at this. Take a look at these areas here between the 475s, 497s, our last seller here, right? We got another seller up here. I
at these levels here. So buyers look to take it up. Big buyers here at the let me see here, probably about the 400s. And then we have some buyers down here. Double decker buyers here actually at between 313 and 320, 327s. So I think if we come down here, if we were to rip down, fail this, that's going to put a lot of pressure on these buyers. These guys might get sucked up, but then you should find some support down here. That being said, I don't know. Part of me feels like we're going to try and blow the top off this thing. Yeah, we're going to do that. But let me see here. So with that in mind, let me just take a quick peek here at the top step of the house account here. We had 2 breaks, but this one rejected off this trend. So this one's invalid now. I'm looking for a nice clean 2-bar off this. And yeah, I hear you, Bob. I know, I hear you. So with that being said, I'm going to have to sign off. I have to get this guy ready. I'm going to go to work. Thank you guys for joining the stream so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to cancel all these orders, but you understand, you kind of see where the players are a little bit from my perspective. And yeah, no, appreciate you guys stopping in. So 2 trades for the house strat, right? So which was nice. 2 bear traps, bear trap. Those ended up working about 70 points with 1 micro, so about 140 points, 140 bucks. I'm down. The reason why I'm down, by the way, is I did a little trading last night, and I ended up trying to buy here with these buyers right here, this little pocket, pop down. I think I had to cover somewhere. I think I popped in, averaged down with these buyers, and then popped out again. And then I tried to take a couple, and we went leg lower. When we leg lower, I cracked them. I said, all right, our next buyers were right here, but it was getting late. So I was like, we'll just cut it there. So that was down about 50 points. So that's what happened last night. That's why I was down 100 bucks. But nonetheless, 2 good trades. I missed the first one. We would have been up, actually, had I taken that first one, but it's all good. Strat worked well today. If we leg this strat should continue to work really well. Let's see here. Do a little recap on let's see all the trades we took today. So we started off here going along. So 22 took a little 6 cover. I think this one was a break even. Took a 30 loss. 15 had a nice trade here. I don't even remember what this one was. I'll be honest with you. Take so many trading ideas in the morning with the strategy. I'll have to go back and look at it. But yeah, it had a nice little $130 spread there off a few micros. Chunked in a little bit, got it back. Chunked in a little bit, got a couple more trades off. I'd say we're probably up about 150, roughly around there, from the strat so far. Could have probably got back in here, but I'm just with the flagging like this. I don't know. I wanted to be a seller here, but then we just kind of took out those sellers. So this is where your new seller is, and then we have our big seller up here. So we're going to see what's going to happen up here at these levels. It's going to be very interesting. But all right, guys, have a good day. Take care. See you next time. See you next week. Have a good weekend. Goodness, we're here already.